And then finally, a valuable Nat 5 segment. This list is based around units that can be used in the most places. So you build these units and you're gonna get a lot of mileage out of them. So with that in mind, let's just get Fran and Lauren out of the way real quick. Honestly, if you were to click on any video on this channel, you would have a pretty solid non-zero chance of me talking about either, if not both of these monsters in that video. Lauren and Fran can both be used in pretty much every dungeon. The only place where it gets a little bit dicey is the Giant's Abyss, where that counterattack starts ticking up a lot faster with units that hit 3 times. You can use them in TOA. Lauren is great single target control, and Fran is just a solid healer and source of immunity for new players. She also gives attack buff, which is so relevant. Lauren can also be used in raids as a source of slow and defense break. The next one that I wanted to talk about is Spectra, specifically Second Awakened Spectra, who's the Fire Griffin. You can use Spectra in dragons. I've seen people force Spectra in giants. You can use them in TOA or frankly, anywhere that you need max HP scaling damage. The slow and attack bar pushback is also very valuable. Next, Verile the Fire Vampire. Thank John come to us, this dude is fusible now. When I started playing the game, Verd was not fusible. I got him through summoning stones, which are now exclusive summons. It'd be easier to talk about where Verd can't be used, to be honest. Like, you can rune him on Triple Revenge or Swift in RTA, you can use him in TOA, any initialism in the game, you can use him. He's also a staple in Dragons. He was already important and experienced a surge in popularity when the Trickery team was at its peak. And today, he is still a must-build unit for new players. Generally speaking, when you use Verd on a team in dungeons, you'll want to rune him so that he moves last, so that way you maximize the amount of attack bar you gain from his passive. Once you have this guy, you're going to be cycling so many turns that you'll forget your opponents are even supposed to have turns. Also, if you pick him against Leo and RTA, the math works out in your favor. The next 3 I'm going to cover just back to back because they're all dogs. It's Ikaru, Rauk, and Crow. Ikaru is great independently or in triplicate for the Trickery team. He can team up with up to 3 additional party members, leading to a total attacking value of 4 monsters at once. It takes a lot of runing to get him there, but with some time, you'll have a fully functioning Ikaru. Rauk works perfectly right when you second awaken him. He'll team up with 2 additional units. Super great damage dealer. And then there's Crow, who is arguably the best damage dealer for new players. All of them have usability in solo R5 and in dungeons. If you've been on the channel for a little while too, you'll know that I recommend the Vampires Walking Dogs team for the Punisher's Crypt. And these are the dogs. Next is the Homunculus, specifically the Attack Homunculus, and you can have a choice for this one, either the Wind or Water, depending on what units you're strong in. The reason why you choose the Wind one is if you're short on max HP damage scaling units, or if you want to start working on a super high efficiency Giants farming team later in the game. But early, he's great too. Forgot how to end a sentence. The Water one is stellar for crowd control. He has an AoE first skill, AoE second skill, AoE third skill. What? That's AoE on every skill. That sounds crazy. That's because it is. The Water one is great in Rift dungeons, also solid crowd control option for TOA. Basically, they thrive in PVE environments because that's predominantly where you can use them. Can't use them in RTA. But this is for new players, so it doesn't matter. Kind of matters. Doesn't matter. Veros. I've been aching to talk about Veros ever since I started this video. I should have led with him. Legit, one of my favorite units right now. Like, actually one of my favorites. I find myself recommending him as a damage dealer for practically everything in the game right now. Giants, Dragons, TOA. He can also be crowd control option for TOA too. He does transition really well into RTA and PVP environments when you're up against a lot of debuffs too. Just watch out for attack bar pushback. He's kind of susceptible to that. And like stuns, but you know. This next one is kind of a maybe build. You know, some people could find use in this. I know the video title is must build, but I'd also like to include this one as maybe build. It's Bernard. Second Awakened Bernard is actually really cool in Rift dungeons. You can also use them in Giants around that time when you're trying to transition into the Abyss floors. But anywhere you need turn cycling with attack bar gain and a speed buff, you can use him. Next, we're going back into the Fusion Hexagram for Riley, the Wind Totemist. She's just straight up one of the best healers in the game, and you can get her totally for free. I did a video semi-recently on the top 5 fusible monsters for RTA, and spoiler, she's number 1, dude. She's so good. Like, actually. You can also use her in Giants. It's gonna go real slow though, but she's a great must-build unit. Eventually. Finally, it's Belger, the Fire Lightning Emperor. He is also in the... Wait, that's 11, I think. No, I added Fran too. This is number 12. 12 must-build units for new players. Oh my god. Well, Belger's another one of those units that you don't necessarily need to build right away, but you should build him eventually. He has a whole raids team named after him in BJ5, which stands for Belger Jansen raid level 5. You can also use him on the time limit floors in lab against the slime boss, etc. Next up, we're gonna move into the you'll probably get one category. This one we'll keep really, really brief. Lucian, the Wind Joker. He is still one of the only sources of AoE ignore defense in the game. And there's no prerequisite at all, it just happens. Has a 33% attack power lead too. You can use him in Giants or actually any dungeon where you need to clear waves quickly. Next is the Wind Barbarian King, Frostvelg. Frostvelg actually came back into popularity with the advent of Giant's Abyss. His attack buff and speed buff and also his source of brand is a huge help when you're trying to find a solid team to start you off. You can also use him in the Rift Beasts. Specifically, he's great in the water one. And I also use him on Mondays when it's slime time. Tyron the Water Sylph is one of the greatest crowd control units just in the game, period. 19% speed lead, AoE freeze and slow, attack bar pushback, and admittedly the worst first skill in the game. Just objectively speaking, it is the worst first skill in the game. But it doesn't matter because the rest of his kit is so good that we just ignore it. And we rune him on Despair, so maybe he stuns somebody on that. Cool. Thanks, Tyron. Thanks for being you. Next, it's the Nat 5s category. First, it's Teshar for anywhere that you need damage. You can use him in Giants, Secret Dungeons, Time Limit Floors, Slime Boss, etc. Next is Varad, the Water Dragon. It's like Big Daddy version of Tyron. Tyron with wings is just crowd control, and also not a great first skill. Really funny the way that happens. But it got better though, it scales with defense. And lastly, Rika, the Fire Occult Girl. You could also throw Charlotte in the mix here, who's the Wind Occult Girl too. Both are just stellar. Rika offers crowd control as well as dots for damage in TOA, and then Charlotte offers crowd control in the form of attack bar pushback, glancing, and attack bar gain for you. There we go. That's actually a lot more than 10 must-build units for new players in Summoner's War. Let me know if I missed any that you would like to see on your list, and I will talk to y'all later.
Oh, well. If it isn't chat. What's going on, everybody? Nexi, Kanagi, good to see you guys. I also saw Danny Phantoms in chat. I love Danny Phantom. I'm a huge, I love that. That's crazy. I'm actually playing the Game Boy Advance game right now, which is kind of wild that you're in chat right now. I'm doing great. Thank you guys for asking. I'm doing much better than last week, to be honest. I've vastly improved. If you guys remember, I was really sick last time. Last week was a very hard week for me. And I'm feeling much better, so thank you for asking. Vacus, how are you? I'm doing great, guys. Thank you so much. Let me say hi to more folks in chat. I saw Fastlix was in there. I saw Matthew. I see Preemies in chat. We're live on both Twitch and YouTube, so if you're seeing names that I didn't mention, that's probably the reason. It's probably on the other one. If you guys are joining us for the first time, by the way, for account reviews and progression tips, here's kind of the flow of things. I hang out in chat channel 10. I start out in the global server because that's where my account calls home. And you ask me questions. I do my dangdest to answer them. I will answer them to the best of my ability. I'll jump on your island, look around, check out the book. Matthew says, "Daddy, hello, son." No. Okay, so Big Bad Josh, look at this. Oh, Kaneki wants to rate my arena defense. All right, let me take a look. Let me see what's going on. By the way, how's the volume distribution? Is everything sounding okay? Everything good? Also, if somebody can try to get something from the store or follow, that'd be awesome, because that's actually why I started shortly after the timer. I don't know what happened to my browser source, but it was just gone. It had just vanished. Like, I don't know what happened. Wow. Okay, so Quad Evan. Wow, that's a 10 out of 10 defense. I don't think I'd hit this. I'd be too scared of the clapback. I feel like this thing could like reset my account or something like that, but that's just an empty threat. They'd never do that. No, I'm just kidding. I can't. For the record, I can't do that. I don't think I can do it. I've never tried. Wow. Quad Evan is crazy. Dang, dude. Time to make Kaneki a mod. I feel like it's about time we... That's awesome. That's great. Okay, so could just honestly use help throughout, especially TOA. That's a great statement. Honestly, Trial of Ascension is so important that I think it'd be great to talk about it. Let's see what we got here. So it looks like you've cleared up to floor 78. So 79 and 80. We'll probably talk more about 80 right? Because 80 is kind of like a break point for a lot of people in TOA. Let me just see what that is right now. Let me just see. I haven't done any hell. My bad. Okay, so you're at 79. So it's probably not exactly 79. So it says that they're stuck at 70 at the moment. Oh, 70 is the Veros one. Okay, let me show you what can... So what I use for the Veros one, actually, I do use this for the Veros floor. Well, actually, that's not necessarily true. I use something a little speedier, but like, usually what I'll recommend to people is bringing something like this. It could alternatively be a Rauk in that slot just to reduce cooldown times and bring Verd more often. But oh, thank you for the follow. And that's exactly what I needed to test. Like I said, for whatever reason, the Stream Elements link, it was just gone. I don't know what happened. I added it last time. We had the store stuff there, and now it's just not here. So I added it back again. Michel, what's going on, dude? We will be going over to Europe. I would love to. So that's what I would recommend for that right now is the Tyron, the Verd. I like Veros because he does max HP damage scaling, but it's also important in that floor specifically because he has crowd control. You could totally use Spectra for the same reason, by the way. Spectra's third skill offers like soft crowd control in the form of attack bar reduction, and then he's got the max HP on skill 2. And when I say max HP, I mean damage scaling. Okay. But you said that you could also use help there. I actually don't have a Tyron somehow. I have Verad though. Perfect. There we you don't have the substitute monster, but you have the OG. That's perfect. You can use Verad in that slot. That's great. You can do that instead. But otherwise, I mean, you're probably... Let's just look around and see what's up. 2-minute giant time. Honestly, I think that can just be improved by changing out either Naomi or Crow for another max HP damage scaling monster. You already have Shaman runed up. You can actually use Shaman in that slot, and that should help because Shaman does big damage on skill 2, and he's element neutral, right? Same as Crow. It depends which one of your monsters hits harder, and then just swap it out with Shaman, and you probably see a little bit of improvement right out the gate. For Dragon's Lair, this is telling me that maybe your Veros isn't on crit damage, or maybe your speed tuning's a little off. Let me just check on that real quick, and then we'll bounce to another one. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that I answer as much as possible. Dude, there's some like screaming going on outside, but let's not worry about that. So the things that I wanted to check on was the speed tuning for dragons. And then I thought this might not be on crit damage, and it isn't. Also, by the way, Veros is totally worth skill ups, I will say. I know a lot of people would say like to fuse skill ups for Veros. I understand that takes a really long time, so what I would just say is just kind of be honest with yourself. It's like, if I'm going to put in the work to do the fusions, great. I did not. I gave him Devimon. I've never regretted it. I think it is worth it. The other thing that I think is worth it is a rage build instead. So putting him on a crit damage build, speed, crit damage, HP. Let me see. I think I'm finishing Chiwu at the moment for skills. It's versatile. It says fuse skill ups. Nah, all my homies waste Devimon. I don't know if I'd even call it a waste, but yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, can't let gang know. Can't let gang know I do that. Because I'm all about wasting Devimon on fusible monsters. If that's how we're choosing to define it, then yes, I'm guilty. I waste the Devimon. I don't do the fusions. However, if I do have one thing to say about that, it's that I come from an era where it was not worth it to do the fusions, right? You know, it's like that was pre-2023. That was when the fusion system was a lot more difficult. There were a lot more barriers to entry with the fusion system, right? So it's like now it's more viable. Like you could totally fuse skill ups if you wanted to, and you could get it done in like a week, probably. A week, by the way, that is just a ballpark estimate. That is a completely arbitrary number. I have nothing to base that on. No way, dude. What? Whoa, dude. No way. Josh. What? Dog, you're hiding like some fire back here, man. Like this. This is a great unit, and then this is just like my personal one of my most wanted nat 5s, one of my personal most wanted LD 5s, because I love the team up mechanic, and she brings someone on every single attack. So that is that's a me thing, you know. It's definitely a me thing. What is your opinion on Ran in RTA? She can substitute Han pretty well. I use her frequently. Ran is Ran not the is she not the dark Epicyon priest, or is she the dark Rakshasa? Let me check on that real quick. And let me see why. let me see why. So is she Rakshasa or is she a Epicyon priest? What is the dark one? It is Ran. Okay, attacks the enemy 4 times, each having a 75% to wait. This is sounding very similar to Han so far. 2 turns into decrease and attack bar 30%. Decrease the skill cooldown time of Devil's Whip by 1 turn if the enemy is defeated by this attack. Wait. That sounds so similar to Han. Dude, that's so funny. In fact, it's got a better chance of reducing of defense breaking. The only reason why it's worse is because it doesn't increase your attack bar, it decreases theirs, right? So that means that it doesn't affect, you know, it's not going to get you your turn guaranteed, because the other members of their team could very much move in between and kind of disrupt it. So what is my opinion on it? I did not have an opinion on Ran, if I'm being perfectly honest. However, I totally see that if you're running something like a you know, dark speed lead, or like a Wool Young if you happen to have one, plus a dark Robo, Ran, like I completely see how that could do something kind of effective, actually. So let me see here. Greeting Spin. Look at all my new LDs. Wait, let me see these LDs. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's go in order. I'm gonna go up. Not gonna lie, I somehow got, this is from Josh, by the way. I somehow got Sylvia from my first ever LD scroll from the monthly thing back in like 2016. Holy heavens, that's insane. Melon Bunny asks a fun question, said, how'd you start working with Summoners War officially? Also, glad you're feeling better. Dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm feeling way better. Like, yeah, last week was not good. I've kind of been inside a lot, though, because we had the long weekend for 4th of July over here. And I basically haven't left the house for any significant amount of time. So it's been quite some time since I've like really like done anything, but it's been great though. You know, my girlfriend and I have been watching anime and stuff. I passed it to her, unfortunately, so she's sick right now. But anyway, let me answer that question. How did I come to work for Summoners War officially? Well, I actually applied for the job while I was in college, and I had it was great. I got it right away. I knew Come To Us and I knew Gameville at the time as well, and they were in the process of merging. Come To Us made Inocia 1, right? Like, and I think I just brought this up semi recently. Maybe it was on a Soul Strike stream. I think I might be getting my streams kind of crossed. But like, Inocia was my first mobile RPG that I ever played, and I was like mind blown. I was like, oh my god, this is the future. And when I saw the Come To Us had a job opening, I was like, oh my god, let's do this. It's a sign. And I got an answer within like 3 hours, and then that was like 7 years ago now. I was off last week and binged so much anime. What did you watch, Kanagi? It's taking every ounce of willpower to not just watch season 2 of JJK again. But like, I'm in season 3 of Mob Psycho, and also I watched Kaiju number 8, amongst other things. Okay, back to the chat. Evan, finally beaten floor 10 in TOA Hell. Pulled a second Halphus from my all attribute scroll in the achievement. Fastlix, that's awesome. The dupe Halphus is funny, for sure. Like, you could do something kind of annoying with that, I bet, in arena defense. I am on Global King Dune. When are you coming to Vegas, says Henry Ramos. It's SWC, America's Cup, I think, is in Vegas this year. And by I think, I mean, it is in Vegas. At least that's the plan. Evil, bonjour. Feeling better? I'm feeling way better. Stellia. Muito obrigado. Feeling way better. Kaneki says JJK Season 2, Kaiju number 8, Demon Slayer's latest season, and Misfit of Demon King Academy. Nice. Y'all hear about the McDonald's? Dude, the special grade garlic sauce, cousin Greg? Dude, have you been seeing all like the lobotomy Kaisen memes? Like lobotomy Kaisen's making a return, and it's so funny. Like people are just playing the Enlightenment of Gojo music over the garlic sauce, like dangling over the piano, and it's I love it, dude. I live for it. Okay, and then let me get centered back in here. Mega Slayer, can you view my account? Yes. So let me see what's up. I love the Carlos front and center there. Nice, young Kakashi. So I've been playing for a while. Haven't quite cleared TOA yet, so we are probably going to focus in on TOA, because I think that's probably the most important thing that you can do. I can even assist you a little bit with Giant's Keep, because right now this is a little all over the place, and I'll explain in more detail. Well, actually, you know what? Let's talk about this first. So real quick, we're actually going to swap out all of these units, because it's going to end up being a little bit too slow, and you have multiple units on here that hit multiple times. And in Giants, you kind of want to reduce that. In GB 1 through 10, so for the first 10 floors, it's admittedly a little less important, right? You know, because when he counterattacks, he only counterattacks one unit, but once you get into Abyss floors, he attacks your whole team, and that's a bummer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap these guys out. I'm gonna take out the Monkey King too. We're gonna take out Eladriel. The Monkey King, because he's fire, right? So it's like you have the opportunity to glance. And then for Eladriel, we're going to take him out just because he kind of promotes slower gameplay, right? Like if you're bringing a reviver, you're kind of committed to dying, you know, or you're afraid of death. So we're going to swap all those guys out, and in doing so, maybe we'll also come up with a few units that could be helpful for TOA. I see you already have a Sigmaris, and Sig is honestly like a really good unit for Giants B10. Ooh, this is one of my most wanted LD5s. Salve Behi, Evelzada Nadia Shach. League of Legends 1. Salve no Shach. And, oh, we also have Lag. Oh, you could use Lagmaron. And Geralt. Okay, so we have several options. We've got several options for you to use. I think what I'm going to recommend straight out the gate, though, is probably Sigmaris leader skill, right? So he's the first monster you're going to pick, and he has a 44% HP lead in dungeons. So he's going to make your team a little bit tankier just for being in that first leader slot, okay? The reason why I'm picking Sig is because he's got max HP damage scaling on 2 skills, and bosses have a lot of HP. So that means this is going to do more damage than some of the monsters you've got currently. For the same reason, I'm going to recommend that you bring Water Geralt. He actually has max HP damage scaling on skill 3, and he's got defense break, which is the most important debuff in the game on skill 2. And then there was another unit that caught my attention earlier. Was it Lagmaron? No, I don't. It was Lagmaron. So I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to do Sigmaris leader, Geralt. I saw you. Oh, a second awakened crow is a necessity. I would start doing this. I am going to give you a little bit of homework. If you want to run the dungeon as you are currently, if you want to run it right now, Sigmaris, Water Geralt, Shannon, probably. You could put Crow on it just so you don't forget, but I don't love it in that slot. I wish I was seeing I really wish that I was seeing like Beladion, the Light Inugami, or something to provide some health. But I am going to give you a little bit of homework, and I promise the homework is easy, and it's going to help you long term, right? First of all is Fuse Veramos, right? Veramos is quickly shot up to become one of the most important monsters for PvE content in the entire game. Kanagi says, what do you use to beat the Dimension Predator, Evan? You mean the new one that is like the Dimension Raid? We'll get back to that in a second. So Fuse Veramos, second awaken your Crow, and also fuse, just fuse a Vertihile for later. But I would also try to find the Light Fairy Queen, who should have been given to you through the Summoner's Way questline. If not, you can find her in the Ancient Coin Shop. Let me show you where. So you just go to Shop, Ancient Coin, and then in the Monster Pieces, she is right here. So if you, for whatever reason, accidentally fed her or something like that from the Summoner's Way questline, you can always get her back there. It's not a big deal. And there are plenty of Ancient Coins in the current event. So for the Dimension Raid, by the way, the Dimension Raid requires you to have a monster that can ignore damage prevention effects, right? I'm phrasing that weird, but you know what I mean. And so that means that you kind of need to use either like Chow or Leica because they've got Justice, or you also need, you can also use the snipers. So like the Fire Sniper could be used there, right? Because all of their first skills ignore beneficial effects that would reduce damage. So it will penetrate the shield. That's kind of what you need. For the rest of the team, I would probably go for like, check the strategy info, see what decks can help. But like the main point of issue that I see people have is, oh, also, thank you for that. Versatile says also 2-way iron ignores on all skills. So there's a few different options you can pursue, but that's the slot that I feel everybody has an issue with. Myself included, to be honest. Dozy, how do you sign up for the account review? I'm a new player. That's all you need, and I'll scroll back up in a second. But 16-day-old account, Dozy, welcome. Here, let me use this. Let me do a little emote. That's all you need to do. I'd love to help, but my main question that I ask people is, is this your first account, or like, have you had a previous Summoners War experience? Because this is like Haven Shadow levels of progression, by the way. You've already cleared TOA normal. You're almost to TOA hard clearing, and you've only been playing for 16 days. Trosora, what's going on? Says, hello, I'm new here. Welcome. I'm glad you made it to the stream. Today we're doing account reviews and progression tips. I hang out in chat channel 10, and if people need help, they just post in there, and then I go on their islands, and I help them if I can. What happened to coffee? I already had a little today. I had iced coffee, so it was extremely, oh, Boatarji League. Boatarji, 322. Yeah, for me, it's a very crisp 1122. What's going on, JG Blitz? What's up, Milton? Because so back to my question though. I was wondering if this was your first account or not, Sora, because, or actually, I'm sorry, not Sora, I'm getting Dozy King. Because it's clear that you know what you're doing. Very clear you know what you're doing. Like the Sig lead, the 2-way Crow, Verimo, Shannon, Fran, like this is great. It has been a while, JG Blitz. I was just wondering if, oh, Big Papa. Good to see you, Big Papa. Now I'm just curious if Verimos is on damage, just because it's a little bit slow in Giants. I don't know what's going on here. Let me just look. But you're very new to the game, so I would no. Oh, it is on damage. It is on damage. I think you might be able to speed up that Giants time a little bit, because it's close to 2 minutes. In fact, you actually have some. I don't like this guy right here. Is he fully done? Not yet. So he's not done yet. Clive is not ready to be used just yet, and that's okay. We'll bring him out when he's ready. Milton says, this is your first account? Can you check mine? Oh, yeah. I will try to get to as many people as I can. I only stream for about an hour and a half, but I do my best to get to as many accounts as humanly possible. Been farming just Necro. Nextland says, I play all kinds of games, but some of them lose attention for, however, some of the games need more events for the community and stuff. I mean, I think that's part of the key for why Summoners War has been around for 10 years, for sure. Need to stream 8 hours a day. Actually, you know what, guys? I do have a Soul Strike stream later, too. So in 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours, I'll be streaming some Soul Strike. So if you want more, just come by and watch it. I genuinely think that you guys would like that game, because I like that game a lot, and you know, considering we're all in the same stream, I think we have fairly similar taste in games, at least to some extent here. JG Blitz says, Evan, for a newbie who somehow fed Crow and can't get a new one quickly, would you recommend Argan the Wind Vampire as a damage dealer? In some situations, I would. The only thing that I would say about that is that Crow is pretty easy to get. If you go to chat channel 1050, just go on Friday or the weekend, and you'll be able to find the secret dungeons you're looking for. There is also a secret dungeons channel in our Discord, I think. So if you wanted to go and try to get Crow, people can help you out with that. I would recommend it. I really would. Oh, Big Papa says Soul Strike ain't Sky Arena. No, it's not. It is not. But it doesn't. It is. Oh my goodness, that was a great stretch. Oh my god, I felt so good. What if Crow got deleted? We gotta lock the next one. We gotta just make sure to get Crow and lock him. Oh, so you're saying if Crow wasn't in the game, would I recommend Argan? Yeah, Argan's a good damage dealer, actually. I think we talked about this in the Vampires Ranked video, but like, he is good. Like, he's better than most people think he is. Now I see what you're saying. So you're like, if Crow was not in the game, would you recommend it? Here's the problem, though. Argan is stellar for like Steel Fortress. Pretty sure you could probably force him into Necro if you wanted to. Like, you could use him in a lot of places. Even in Punisher's Crypt, you could also use it. But like, I think the element neutrality of Crow, the debuff scaling damage, the team up effect of Crow would definitely be missed. I think it would benefit you to have both. For sure. Sorry guys, I'm trying to let me see what I can do. I'm kind of not let me zone in here. Looking for some small roster RTA help with my lack of rune depth. Trying to get to C2 or C3. Mike, so Spoon, I'm wondering what you're playing currently. I noticed you've got some very fun monsters like Woonsa. You've got a Nefties here, Maximilian. Like, I would do. Oh, is that a Seimei? I always lapse on Seimei's name. Say my name. Oh god, hate that account already. They say. I love opportunities like this though, because it lets me kind of live vicariously through the person. Do you have, so the first thing I'm gonna look for is I'm looking for like meta. So I'm looking for standard picks like Chandra. So Chandra, like, Evan, you skipped me. No, I'll try to go back, Matthew. My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip. My bad, dude. Noir Persona. Oh, look, it's the Summoner's War video guy. Just kidding. Hey, Evan. What's going on, Noir? How are you? Is your name from Persona, the games, by the way? I was just listening to Persona 4 soundtrack yesterday, actually. Threw myself with these LDs. Okay, so. Me too, dude. I skipped. Oh, guys, I have a command, actually. Or not a command. I've got a... I have a store item where you can buy this emote if you feel ignored. I'm so sorry, by the way. I will go back up, but I saw a new question and we haven't talked about RTA yet, so I just kind of got a little excited. Sorry about that, fam. So what I would recommend doing, is I would recommend like breaking up the meta picks. So if you're playing to the meta, you'd probably do like Chandra, Cigar, Velojoule, right? Or Chandra, Velojoule. Oh, you can do exactly Chandra, Cigar, Velojoule. Oh, dude, Byungchul as well? Oh my god. Versatile says, wait, it costs money to explain now? It costs wings. Costs wings to complain. No, you can complain, Versatile. You can do whatever you want to do. I just think it's funny because I found, so I've got all these emotes and I put a bunch of them like on the store. So now it's like they're tied to like purchasable items. So it's like, see, look, oh no, oh no, it's the ignored one. No, I'm sorry. So that's what I mean. So you could totally use like Byungchul in this situation as well, but we haven't even gotten to your LD5s. Like if you want to play something like a cleave, you could do like, you've got double speed lead. You could do Woonsa with that. So you could go speed lead, Woonsa, speed tune it so Nefties goes next. Maximilian does crazy damage. Like, I don't know if that's what you want to play though. If you want to do cleave, that's great. If you don't want to do cleave, then you can also just do something where you do the Chandra, Cigar, Velojoule, Byungchul, Nefties. And then Nefties is there to still set up all those defense breaks. Byungchul can strip away any immunity that you may have gotten to, or that your enemy may have gotten. So that way Nefties is free to apply the defense break, and then like huge damage comes after. I would LD abuse for sure, dude. But you have so many options though. Like you could play. You don't have to play to the meta if you don't want to. Like that's what I'm trying to say. The main importance is that like sometimes if you have the monsters, it's better to break up the combo because you know your opponent is going to try to play to the meta for the most part. Like 80% of your matchups are going to try to do like the Chandra Cigar Veloduel, and I know we're all we're tired of seeing the Chandra Cigar Veloduels, but like if you got them, you can break it up. Tree, Dark Steel Commander any good? I think his skin needs glasses. Yeah, dude. I think it could use some glasses too, man. I feel like that would complete the look, you know? It'd make it more immersive. It would make it more immersive if he had glasses. Okay, let's scroll up. I've skipped a few people by accident, clearly, and I'm so sorry if I made you feel ignored. Bro, it's amazing how they want to make every monster a damage dealer. This is from JG Blitz on YouTube. You see, Chandra might have only been used because of the hug effect. Now all Beast Monks have skill 1 with auto crit. Yeah, they do that as like, I totally see what you mean. You know, they do it as a way to tech around problematic monsters. You know, especially Kinky was done to death. You know, it's like Kinky's been nerfed hard. Like, you know. Not only through skill changes, but also through balance changes. And that's one of them. What's going on, Stoic? Welcome to the stream, dude. Stoic says, I too wear glasses. I agree. Dozy King, that's so nice. I've watched lots of YouTube videos you post. Thank you, dude. I need a better Necro hard team without Aster. So it is the first account. So really quick, let me just see what your Necro team is, because I didn't look at the Necro team, to be honest, because it's not like truly something you need to focus on early. With that said, I love what you have. Like, this shell is great. In fact, this will work. And if it's consistent, just keep it. The only thing that I would advise you go into next would be like, the next move would probably to take out the Zhang Fei and instead put in Ergar, the Dark Vampire Lord, or the Water Cannon Girl. Her name is Abigail. Either of those would do great. They have an attack lead in dungeons and they hit multiple times. So I think either of those would fit cleanly in there, but I gotta say, I love the shell. I really do. Like, you don't need to change anything if it's consistent. Remember, guys, like, if it's like even a minute 20, but you can do 30 of it, no interruptions, I'd prefer closer to a minute, right? Like, we want to get that time down a little bit, but if it's consistent, that's all that matters. Okay, Almighty, can you help me with? Oh, me, please, Avinu, I need your. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm skipping around. I'm so sorry. Wait, what did River? So River, what did you need? River says just wisdom. Wisdom in general. Let's see what we can do with wisdom in general. Arena F3, I would probably say to go into RTA. Probably put you into RTA a little bit. And you are doing raids. That's great. Yes, so RTA. That's probably what I usually, when I see folks have achieved like all the major dungeon milestones, you know, that's normally like a sign that we can move into one of the end games, be it guilds, be it RTA. By the way, did you guys like the dev note? Like, how are you feeling about the dev note? It was a predominantly siege and guild content focused dev note, which I think was kind of needed, and it was also foreshadowed before, right? Like, the devs have done that. Nerd, what's going on? I see this is a weekly stream. How long do you typically do Q&A? Honestly, like, I'm if you have a question, I'll give you an answer for as long as I'm streaming. I'm on for about an hour and a half. So Wednesdays I stream at the same time, and then Fridays I also stream 11 a.m. Pacific time. So same time, same place. The only thing is there wasn't a Friday stream the last 2 weeks. Friday, because why wasn't there one on Friday? Was it because I was sick? Was it because I was sick? I don't. Last Friday it was a holiday. Last Friday was a holiday, but I think the week before that I forget what was going on. But we're back. Basically, what I'm trying to say is we're back to a regular schedule now. That's what I'm trying to get at. Oh, the chat's moving fast. Hold on one second. BLM forever says, "Yo, I'm a little bit new to the YouTube, to your vids, but they are so cool." Oh, dude, thank you so much. That was so nice. That took me a little bit to kind of like chain it together because it was like 3 messages up the chain. I really appreciate that though. Thank you, and I'll pass that along to my friend Michael as well, because like Michael's my good friend and coworker, and he's the one that edits the videos, and like he puts his heart and soul into that thing, and it's always very sweet when I hear people are liking them. Zoe, what's up, Zoe? How are you? No way, Zoe. Welcome to the chat. Okay, let's talk about this. Potato of Doom actually has a response to the question I asked real quick. Sorry, I keep doing this. I keep locking in on the question and then I'm diverting back to something else. But they actually said, like, I strongly dislike the new map. The rest of the node I liked, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if they had to revert back to the old one pretty quick. Makes it way too easy to pull full cut guilds. So that's really good feedback, Potato of Doom. And that's actually a sentiment that I saw on Reddit as well. I saw people's initial reactions to the map were like, it's, I would say, skewing negative, right? So and that's really important. So it's like telling me here, telling us on those social platforms as well. Like after it launches, we'll be able to monitor, deliver feedback. It is definitely one of those things where it's like, you know, the devs have actually been, I would say, good about that recently, where they see if something is not working, they change it. And I think that they've actually got a much better response time to that sort of thing than they did when I first started at the company. So I'm optimistic. So like, even if it doesn't work, it's something that can be adjusted in the future, right? So it's like, you know, nothing too bad immediately. But I want to reiterate, I've definitely seen that around, and I hear you. Andrew says, hey, my name's Samael, and can you help me with Siege and RTA? Yeah, we can talk about that. Speaking of RTA, I was just recommending that that River start kind of going into one of the end games. And I like to recommend, I recommend RTA for people, you know, to see the payoff of all your hard work, all the runes that you've been farming up. Looking in your water section, by the way, I don't see a ton of stuff to like build around. I see counter picks, right? Like Elucia and Tetra are both really good to have. Chow, I think people sometimes don't see coming, you know? Like, I think you could kind of build up a Chow, and then you could just trap people if they pick, like, predominantly, like, water or fire comps. So this would be good. Oh, muito obrigado, Stellina. Yeah, I really like this music, actually. Nerd said, wait, how do we get an account review? Like, what do we need to send to make that happen? I'm just in chat channel 10 on the global server. Just let me know what you need me to look at. And also it helps if you tell me what your Twitch or YouTube handle is too, just so I know who I'm talking to. Andrew says, I'm a newer player. I've watched a lot of videos, but I still get confused sometimes. Dude, that's exactly what this is for. Like, to be honest, like, speaking plainly, Summoner's War is a hard game. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of numbers. And sometimes, like, when you're playing your account, you're only seeing through your eyes. You're seeing through your perspective. Sometimes it helps to have someone else kind of come in with a pair of fresh eyes and see what's going on. That helped me a ton, right? And that's the whole reason why we have these streams, is because, like, all of my growth came because, like, I was surrounded by people who were playing Summoner's War as well, and I'm like, you know, like Seppi would always look at my account and we'd work on it together, or it's like other members of our team. And I find that that's actually like a strength of Summoner's War too, is that like that feeling of coming together and building up an account, and like it's almost cooperative in that sense, and seeing growth. Within your fire picks, by the way, Veligul is extremely good right now. He is definitely like part of the meta. He's got damage and defense break on skill 2, and he has a third skill that is still to this day one of the most impactful Vioproc skills out of stun, I would say, in the entire game. Like, like you live in constant fear that a Veligul will proc out of stun and cleanse and apply immunity. Like, sometimes this can just win a game. Like, it's crazy. So I would definitely rune up a Veligul, regardless of if you have the other members of the comp. Oh, and Milton, by the way. So what's your account name? Remind me your account name. Growth comes from questions. Yeah, it does. Absolutely. I miss the Raccoony days. Do people miss the Raccoony days? I feel like that's a hot take. Jeki says Vio with fastest speed for Vela. I feel like it kind of depends, right? I think it depends on if you're using like Cigar, right? Like if you're doing a Cigar, if you're running Cigar with the comp, then you'd probably want Cigar to have your fastest Vio set. Not saying to make Velojoule slow by any means, but I think there might be other priorities for your fastest ones. Stoic is reminiscing, says, I miss the simpler days when a Vio proc is all we had to worry about. Now we got to worry about the spare, too. He did cosplay as Velojoule, though. Can we trust his opinion? I feel like yes. I feel like yes, you can trust my opinion. Velojoule and I have been one on 2 different occasions. I would also do Leo. So I'm trying to figure out what I would recommend for you as like a core. Oh, sick, dude, Leo. Oh, you do have Chandra. So I would say maybe build the Chandra. 6-star the Chandra. First pick him, pick Velojoule, and then we're going to go Wind. So elemental, oh, I bit my tongue in the middle of that. Elemental diversity in the pick ban phase is very important, right? You know, and you know that. You've achieved F3 in RTA before, so it's like you've felt that before. If you double pick an element early, like you can kind of get hosed for it, right? Like so it's a very easy thing to take advantage of. So what I would do, so go Chandra for the speed lead, then go Velojoule, then go a Wind monster shortly after that. I think the most impactful pick that I see over here from you would be either Royd, actually, or Leo. Or actually, wait, no, Charlotte. You go Charlotte with this. We would just need something to strip. I saw that you had Tiana, but I'm already kind of demanding other units have like some speed. So maybe Clara or something like that. Clara could work as a strip, or more could work as a second speed lead into strip option. I think that might be what I recommend. And then I'm not going to say a 5th pick, because a 5th pick should kind of be open, you know, like if you need to do a counter or something like that. Now, alternatively, if you don't want to do this route like at all, you could look up some teams that feature Elsharion. I'm a huge fan of teams that are like free to play, or like Elsharion, Chilling, you know, Fran, like the, you know, these kind of free to play niche comps. You could go that direction. I don't think you have to. I would only do it if you find it fun, right? But I would start at the Chandra Cigar, or I'm sorry, not Chandra. Yeah, Chandra, Velojoule, and then one more. Guys, my game just closed because it, you know, I think it kind of built up all the memory. So in the meantime, I'm gonna post the survey. I'm gonna remind you guys to use command new survey in chat too while I reopen. Got the Evan exit. So that means, unfortunately, you're going to have to send your messages again. That was, like, very quick, by the way. I don't know who was waiting for that. That is extremely quick. Hey, it's us. What's going on? Look at that. All right, we're back. Chat channel 10. Chat channel 10. What am I Evan-splaining? What am I Evan-splaining, Kaneki? Okay. Giants or Siege, please. Wow, some LD5s in here. If you want this to be faster than 113... if you want this to be faster than 113, you're going to have to take out... well, do you have to take anything out? If you want it to be consistent, you'd have to take out Lauren and or Fran, or both, and replace them with single hitting defense break heal sort of situation. So like go Shannon Beladion. However, I think that might actually make it slower. It would just make it more consistent. Now, if you're just trying to go full damage, then I think you're at the point where you could probably do that, to be totally frank. I think you could start like looking at like speed team options. What? I'm seeing some Artemiel sads in chat from Owl. So that's my recommendation for Giants, by the way. I would take out the Fran and the Lauren and go for something a little bit like single hit, right? Beladion Shannon. if you wanted to do something that was like very like safe. But then if you're trying to go speed, look into some speed teams. Like I'm using this one. So this is what I'm doing right now. No, I'm not doing that. Sorry, wait. I'm doing this. That's what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm not doing that. There might be a way to do it without Teshar, actually. I don't know if you... do you need it? I don't know if... Okay, LD Hippo. LD account only, and I need help with Punisher's Crypt. Oh my god, that's a tall order, dude. Okay, so there's two things that you need to do here, though. There's three things that you need to do. There's points of improvement, which is a good sign, right? We want easy answers. And I'm happy to report that there is actually kind of an easy answer here. So the first thing you're going to want to do, remove the Fran, remove the Lauren, remove the Veros. Here's why. Punisher's Crypt is a little bit like weird because like when you reduce the attack bar of the boss, they instead get a turn. So you want to remove as many instances of reducing attack bar as humanly possible. So instead, I would make... Well, you could run Beladion. Beladion technically has attack bar reduction, but let me just double check this. You may want to run Shaman instead. Oh, and also Ridicule in Twitch chat has a recommendation for like a speed team that doesn't focus Teshar, and it's Kyle, Julie, Prilea, the Wind Homunculus, and Konamiya. That's dope. So I'm assuming that you have it similar, like you can fill up the attack bar of Kyle in that case. Or you're trying to, I guess you'd go Julie first, Konamiya to refill Julie. Then is that kind of, what's the turn order in that one? Do I have that kind of right, or am I messed up on that? Might be messed up. So, oh, if you do have Martina Deva. Wait. Could you do something with Deva Martina? Chad, am I cooking or am I like off my rocker here? Hold on. Like you might actually be able to do something with Deva Martina. Oh, I'm sorry. This is for Punisher's Crypt. So they're an LD account and they need help with Punishers. So I think you might be able to do Martina and Deva with Shaman. So Martina is your defense break, right? This isn't a max HP source. This is a max HP source, and he's also healing. Then you could probably use Beladion. Look, what skill has the reduction? The first skill has the reduction. That's a bummer. That's not what we want to see. You may be able to use Ashir, actually. I would bring Crow on this comp. So Martina, Deva, Crow, Shaman. Should we see if this works? Hold on. I don't know if mine is ruined the best. Hold, please. Oh, wait. Could you use maybe Ergar? I don't know if this is... Oh, hold on. Sorry. Ergar, Crow, twins. I feel like this could work. Ergar, Crow, twins. Who else did I say? I said Shaman, right? Where's my Shaman? Could this work? I feel like this might be able to work. Let's just try it. Let's just run it and see what's going on. Because, I mean, we can kind of workshop this together because I happen to have the team. Honestly, so, like, let's go boss, dungeon boss. So you could, let's try it boss first. But to go safe, you could do this, right? So to be safe, you could always do this. And it would just, like, it adds, like, a negligible amount of time. Probably adds, like, 10 seconds. Something like that. I call that negligible. Oh, I missed Death Break? Oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. We'll just see what happens. What is my turn order? We'll see. Wait, so turn order is Martina first. Yeah, it could be better. Could be better, obviously, if like Ergar's first. It's not bad. Do you feel like Shaman is better on Vio or Rage? I like him on Rage. He's there to do damage, you know, and he'll get pulled by Crow. Think of the team up with Crow as like another turn. That's how I like to think about that. So you don't really like need to proc to get that. Yeah, right? Stoic, thank you. I know. Dude, I feel like they're on the... I wish I could read the name, but I think you're in the wrong chat. Let's see if this works. So the way that Ergar is looking, I am actually not super... I'm not super inclined to say that this is going to work. But let's see. And I also did not steal the speed buff. I was hoping to steal the speed buff there. Come on, let's go. I don't think so. Yeah, I think we're going to have to find something else. How do I get Ergar? Ergar is in the Ancient Coin Shop. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay, so maybe Deva Martina. Is Deva Martina the problem? Or what is the problem? Maybe it's not this, right? Like, maybe it's something else. We could try Bella. We could try... Like, could Zinc maybe work? Could Zinc work in that? Oh, yes, Ancient Coins only. So sorry. But there is a way to get Ancient Coins really effectively right now. Oh, actually, could this work? Could that work? Maybe this? Plus Belladam, but that seems like it could be a little bit slower. This was not as insane as I thought it was going to be. Do we want to try this? I'm just not sold. I'm not sold on this. I don't know if this is enough of a change. I don't know if that's enough of a change. But, I mean, we can try it just to see. But let's do it. Because I'd like to see if I could help you if possible. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's try to make this work. Because I'd love to help the LD only account. I kind of feel like that might be my next challenge for myself. That thing gives a lot of group damage. You need some healing effect and armor. Yeah, I didn't bring healing outside of Ergar's vamp effect, right? So LD only count is super sweet. I feel like that would be my next challenge. I have not tried it myself. But I like seeing the creativity that comes with it. Like all of a sudden everything feels like a puzzle, you know? Needed to use the AoE. Oh my gosh, I could die. That was extremely lucky. That was extremely lucky. They made Shaman a secret dungeon. Okay. So let's see. We're gonna play it safe this time and go for the towers, but I think Martina's kind of low. Yeah, dude, I think you might need to make your Martina tankier than mine. My Martina works for like dragons, but it doesn't work for punishers. It was a nice experiment though. The only thing that I would say is like a point of like reassurance is that like if you're an LD only account and like your best runes are on Martina and Deva, then you might have a better opportunity. Mine is not runed well enough to like make that, like mine is just runed well enough to do dragons. Like that's it. Okay, let me look around some more. Sorry about that. That was kind of a fun thought experiment though. I wish that I could have given you like a more effective, like 100% yes, this will work type thing. I think you'd probably be closer with the Shaman build if you wanted to go for the towers first because it provides healing. But unfortunately, my LDs are not ruined as well as they should be. Please my account. Furry, what do you need help with? Let me know what you're looking for in terms of help. Back to the game after a few year break, a lot of changes. Can you check me out? Yeah, so I do like questions like this of like what direction do I go into now because the game has changed so much. I just gave this point of advice to somebody else, but for the Abyss dungeon specifically, I would take out Fran and Lauren. They hit way too many times to be like super guaranteed working, you know, like that's it. The boss needs 7 hits to counterattack. If they both use their skill 1, that's 7, or rather that's 6 hits, and then Crow also has a team up, right? So it's like there's a lot of multi-hits going on here. I'd replace them with just Belladon and Shannon. If you're looking for something just like a starter team that's gonna work, that's consistent, just do that. And then you can kind of branch out into like a speed team later. I actually think that your focus is in probably the right area. The only thing that I'd recommend for like Necro is to take out Verd and put in Ergar, take out Fran and put in maybe Astar if you have Astar there, or Shaman. Shaman just got a secret dungeon. So actually now, yeah, we can actually recommend secret dungeons with, you know, and We could actually recommend Shaman now, rather, and more people can get him. So Verd is not as bad as like people say he is in Necro. Like, you know, I've been saying this for a while. I don't think it's that hot of a take anymore. If you've, oh man, we got to get that crit rate up though. We got to get that crit rate to 100. That's more important than getting him on crit damage, actually. So let's get that crit rate up to 100%. I wouldn't do crit damage on him until you can do both. Until you can get 100% crit rate and high crit damage. And that is a lot to ask for, right? But eventually, eventually though, we can move over to crit damage. But for now, what I would do is I would just put him on just regular build. You know, he could even be on violent. If he's not contributing crit damage, he could even be a violent bird. Like, that's fine too. So we'll change that. But just to finish the thought that I started there, I've been saying it for years. Verd is not that bad in Necro. The reason why he gets a bad rap in Necro is because the boss has a passive ability that shuts down attack parking. So that means that what Verd is there to do will not work, but only in front of the boss. So he can still help on the way up. And in fact, you might actually have a decently fast time. If you have a Verd that's dishing out tons of damage, he'll get you to the boss faster. And then once you're there, even though he's not gaining you attack bar, he's still doing big damage. So he's not absolutely terrible, but like there's definitely better options. So for the sake of the stream today, I'm going to recommend you take him out, and I would instead put in Argar. You can also use Shaman. There he is. Second Awakened Shaman. Congrats on this, by the way. Oh, and this and this. What the heck? Dude, that's awesome. I do Shaman there and just make him move last. Oh, the other thing I wanted to recommend too is just the Verd shouldn't be this slow. He can be slow, but he shouldn't be that slow. Rui, what's going on? Finished TOA hard, got lucky with Tyron. That dude, Tyron's anti-luck in TOA, dude. He just works. Oh, happened again, guys. Sorry about that. Let me restart. Like I said, I think that only happens to me. I think that only happens. I don't know, but like I don't know how many people are bouncing in and out of people's islands. I don't know. Maybe I should report it. You know, maybe I should. Maybe that's a bug that I should report. I don't know. Is it incumbent on me to bring this up because I know it's happening? Do I need to report that? Maybe I do. But I think I'm the only one complaining about it. Robert Shaw, my Dragons team is 13 minutes. My Necro is 1 minute 30. Oh no, dude, what happened? Oh man. So Evan, you gonna hint to them Deborah Dark Hall of Heroes next? Bro. I feel like so Deborah would be a sick Hall of Heroes. Deborah would be dope. I would love to have Deborah as a Hall of Heroes. However, I do think that they just need to be careful because I think Deborah is one of those monsters that like could become too ubiquitous. You know, everybody would suddenly just be building the same team. Like you don't want to make it so that it's like, I mean, we're already kind of doing that though, aren't we? We always just kind of, there's going to be a meta, right? So who knows? Maybe we're in the kind of Summoners War environment where that could function. So I'm not going to say never. True Titan, what's up, Trent? Says, good morning, Evan. Hope you're doing great. If you're streaming later, I have a game concept. Love your opinion on, whoa, very cool. Like a game concept as in like for a new game or something that's like conceptually going to improve Summoners War. Either way, I'd love to hear it. Let me know. You could even drop it in chat if you'd like, and we can workshop it together with the chat. But like, if that's not something you're comfortable with, you don't have to. You can wait until later and just DM me on @cometous_Evan on Discord. Okay. So let's do free-to-play poor. Necro or someone's asking for Punishers. We just talked about Punishers, but in the for LD accounts, if you're doing this, I would take out the Riley. Riley isn't really helping you as much as you think, because like really what this team wants to do is kill very quickly, and Riley is basically saying that you're resigned to taking your time and not killing immediately. So take out the Riley, instead put in Argar. put in Argar instead, and he can provide the attack buff as well as the vamp buff. No, Matthew! I keep skipping Matt. I'm just sorry, dude. I keep skipping Matt. Oh my god, guys, I'm so sorry. I really truly hope you know I'm not doing that on purpose. I really hope you know I'm not. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I'll come back. No, dude, is that a Stella Machia? No, Stella. Oh, love you too, Matt. Thank you. That's nice. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you. Okay. So we were talking about punishers. So I would just take out the Riley. It should be as simple as remove Riley, put in Argar. However, the rune requirements are kind of a little bit wonky. If you want more details, I would look at the Punisher's Crypt Abyss guide that I've got on the YouTube channel. That should give you a more in-depth look at how to rune the monsters and the speed tuning and everything. The one thing that I'll tell you here that is not in the video is that because the team was designed to go face, like to target the boss first, but if you want something a little bit safer, you can just go for the towers first. And that's totally okay. The towers don't take much time to kill, assuming you land defense break. And because you're running 3 Inugamis, that shouldn't be a problem. Yummy says, I can't beat Necro 10 auto. Let me see what you're using. And let's see if we can make... Whoa, shazam. Necro 10 auto is a no-go. Okay, I think what could be going on here is the twins might be too fragile. I would remove the twins. I'd remove the twins for this one. Keep the dogs. You could even add in an Ikaru if you would like. A second awakened Ikaru for another team-up effect. Alternatively, you can run Astar and Shaman or anything else. You know what? Let me just go in. Let's just go in real fast. You can also use Zhang Fei in here. I'm just trying to see if there's something else that you could put in that slot. I don't see an Astar. Don't see an Astar. But you do have Argar. So you could use Argar in this. Dungeon lead, right? And you've got Ikaru. Okay, here we go. So yeah, we can do that. We can just... Oh my god, dude, this account. What the heck, dude? You got Wedge out back here? And a Shazam? Dog, that's crazy. Okay. So yeah, why don't you just... Oh my gosh, and you got Deborah. Wait a minute. Okay, wait. So here's... Let me leave you with this. So for your question, specifically, I'd put Argar lead, dungeon, 38% attack lead. The reason we don't use speed lead, we as kind of like a community, the reason why we don't usually skew in the direction of speed lead for Necro is because not only does the boss inhibit attack bar gain once you're next to him, they also cap your speed. So that means that you can't exceed a certain speed anyway. So you're benefiting less from the speed lead than normal. So I'd recommend you use the attack lead and then sub in Ikaru instead of Fran, right? So that's what I'm recommending you do. But... there's a big but. I would recommend that you go on YouTube and look up some Deborah comps. This is a monster that not a lot of people have, and she is fantastic. Like, she is fantastic. Like, I gotta tell you, this is a very poorly worded skill. Basically, she increases the potency of defense break. So defense break becomes even worse for the monster that it's attached to. So they have even less defense than they normally would. So that means that you're gonna be doing a lot more damage, right? So this is what I would recommend. Sean says, hey, Evan, Sean W in chat, can you help me build a core RTA team that can involve Ritsu and Isis? Oh my god, that's fun. Since I will say the selling point is the controls fantasy. Got it. Awesome. Okay, Trent. I would love to hear about that, actually. And then Matt says that they want to take a look at my Guild Wars defense and its log, and then my monster collection. Let me know what I should change. So many fun LD units too. So, dude, let me look at your monster collection. Pull monsters out. So here's the one thing I'll say is that since I'm not like going on people's accounts, I'm just like basically on their island. I can only look at so much because I can't actually like go on your island. I work for Come To Us, so like technically like logging into people's accounts is kind of a no-go for me because it's like technically against TOS. So pull out the units you'd like me to look at, and then I can do my best looking at that too. So again, just to summarize, Argan and Ikaru, and then look up Deborah comps, because Deborah is not a monster that a ton of people have, and she's very fun, very good. Where is Matt? I've been ignoring Matt for so long. Matt, I'm here. Okay. So, Matt, remind me what it is, what you need help with. What, Sammy? What's going on? Come to us employees have increased LD rates? Dude, Majid, I think I have reduced LD rate. No, I'm just kidding. We play under the same conditions as everybody else. But like, all I'm saying is I haven't pulled an LD5 since 2020. So, maybe. Okay, Matt, let's see what we got. Just general help too, honestly. Nice times. Nice times. Just general help, like Guild War stuff as well. Nice raid time. Let me see the arena defense. This looks annoying, and I like it. That looked annoying. that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Like, I don't think I'd want to hit that necessarily. Okay. Let's see what you can do. Also, just by the way, guys, like Guild War defense, like testing and theorizing is going to become a lot more fun after the next update. If you haven't looked at the dev note yet, like it's going to become like very cool. You'll be able to theoretically build defense like with monsters you don't own, just to kind of like test it out and see what's going on and see like what monsters like synergize well with your comp, you know. Can we get a cheer for Matt? Yeah. Sorry, Matt. Yeah, there we go. We get the Raccoony win. Yeah, that thumbs up is for your arena defense, actually. I actually like that arena defense quite a bit. Also, if folks in chat have ideas for Guild War defenses, please hit me up. Nice. Love it. Love the dance. Oh, sorry. We're doing defenses. We're doing defense. Wait, Vritra. Oh, dude, you should totally do something with Vritra, actually. Folks, have you read this? This guy's passive is kind of crazy. So as long as you have over 50% health, you get threat state. And then when you're attacked, he like applies defense break. Like he counterattacks and then applies defense break. I actually really like this monster, and I think he is more at home on Guild War defenses than like most stuff. So I would try to maybe use this guy to some extent. You also have Lume for offense. You could run like, would it be too crazy to say you could do like a Diaz in Vritra? I would do like Diaz in Vritra. Cucumber says this dude can be used on 4 or 5-star defenses too. Yeah. Recently got Leah and Dark Robo as well. Those are going to be really good assets for you, to be honest. Like you have some really fun, I'm seeing really fun like offensive stuff. Cucumber offered up the point, like you can compare him with Byung and stuff. If it's on 5-star, for example. That's pretty cool. I don't know what I use for... Nerd says, I'm sure I've got some good stuff, but I don't know what to use for real. I need help with offense, too. Oh, with offense. So let me just shout out a couple units that are probably going to be good for you, right? Like Isabel. Isabel is good for, like, snipe. Leah also offers immense value because she offers, like, turn cycling as well as, like, combo potential. So you can rune her on Violent and she'll just sing. She also strips. Rui just offered up a defense featuring Vritra as well. So Iris, 4-man guy, which is the Vritra, and Vigor, the water werewolf. That's a really good suggestion. So if you don't have Iris, I don't really know what to put in that slot. My soul wants to tell me that Diaz would be really cool with Vritra. Now, take that with a grain of salt, right? I don't have Vritra. All of this kind of this is purely like me thinking about how to make Vritra cool. Because I read his passive because Michael got him. And then when we started talking about that, I was like, oh, shoot, this guy's dope. So yeah, you could do Iris, Vigor, and Vritra, which might have been the hardest sentence I've had to say all day. The other monster that I just wanted to shout out for like offense, Leah is obviously so good on like so many different offenses. Like she's really good in arena, and I think she can also be usable here too. They were asking if you've got Dark Siri. If you don't have Dark Siri, even though it isn't exactly the same, I think Veros is a really solid 4-star Dark Strip option. AoE, and then applies attack, break, and glancing. I would use Miyang Vricha and Cichlid. Yo, dude, Andrew, that was a really good suggestion, actually. That was a really good one. Okay, let's look at, so Furry, I need help with a lot of things. I don't know what to do. So this is BLM Forever in chat. Let's see what we can do. Hasn't made a lot of progress just yet, and that's okay. Like, again, this is like the game is kind of, sometimes Summoner's War can be a little bit esoteric at the start, right? So we're gonna do our best to see what we can do to help. That transmog combo on Leah looked really, it did. That was a really nice style choice. Okay. Okay, so for this, I do still tell people that Fran is a priority for like early game. This monster is exceptional early, especially when you're climbing those. Oh, excuse me, guys. Whoa, I gotta dose up on coffee again before the Soul Strike stream, which again is at 2 p.m. 2 hours from now. 2 hours from now. I am standing. Look at me. I can walk around and stuff, Troby. I'm a younger player and I don't know what to do. Not a problem. So first of all, let's just talk about monsters that are going to be really good in the new early game stages. Fran is one of them. I also really like Lauren the Light Cowgirl. You can get her in the chats. I would go to chat channel 1050 on the weekends and go for the Light Cowgirl secret dungeon. That's an easy farmable way to get a monster. Like you can just ask for Lauren in the chat, Loren, and then that should help. And then from these, you'll want to hold on to this monster, right? Like she's going to be really good later. But for now, what I would do is I would recommend like looking in the fusion hexagram and getting Veros, the Dark Ifrit, ASAP. I think Veros will help you a lot. Oh, and while we're talking about secret dungeons, I told you to get Lauren earlier. Get Crow the Dark Inugami as well. I would do both of those. If you can get those units, you'll be able to get underway, and then you're going to prioritize Giants. If you can go into Giants, that's going to be the best. Giants is the water dungeon. And BLM Forever, I think that was yours. I think that was yours that we just looked at. Landon, I'm still on global right now. Oh yes, Samuel. Let's do this. So would you just like an account? Whoa, dude. You got good units on here. What the? Look at, you can hardly see Molly. You can hardly see Molly back there. That's so funny. Oh, okay. Sean W. I don't think I forgot. I haven't forgotten yet. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Wait, is that true? Really says if you put 1 foot up, not touching on the ground for 5 seconds, it'll take your sleepiness away. Is that true? Is it because I have to like focus on balancing? I'm trying it right now. I just tried it. I'll keep you posted on the longevity of this feeling. Wow, you got good teams. Oh my god. Using the Lucifer for this stuff, by the way, is awesome. I've been seeing a lot of people use him for Giants. And when I say a lot of people, I mean the people who have Lucifer. It's not like everybody's got him, but you know. Wow. Look at this. Oh my god. This is awesome. No way. Wow. This is a really cool defense. Yeah, this is like like, let me see how long you've been playing, actually. Let me see how long you've been playing. 420 days. This is a 10 out of 10 account on, oh. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, dude. Oh, Yummy says, thank you, Evan. You're welcome. So Sean asked me a few times now for a core RTA comp. Let's go in and look. So they wanted to specifically hinge on like Isis and Ritsu. So usually the recommendation that I make for people when they ask me about Isis is like, I would think of her, even though she's not like doing the damage, I would think of her in the sense of a Belinus. And here's why. Let me follow that up with something real quick, because so that way you don't think I'm being absolutely silly. So the reason I tell people to think of her like a Belinus is that because at her core, she is a follow-up unit. And so you're going to have to create a team that is very much similar to one that is trying to set up for a payoff that is akin to Belinus. So you're going to want to go like speed lead, double strip, so that way if one gets banned, you still got one going through. Then you can pick Isis and Ritsu. So the one shortcoming that I can see about this is that if you're doing Isis and Ritsu as part of your core comp, one danger that you might fall into is the inability to shift and adapt as situations arise, right? Because it's like, this is very much a comp where you're locked into picking 5 monsters. I would try to do like maybe like this could still be your core, but like I would do the speed lead first, do the double strip, and then have like one of them be like having a separate function, you know, like a Chung Pung, something that offers a little bit more than just a strip. Ritsu is a really cool monster, so I'm glad we're using him. I think that's going to be fun. Let's look around real quick. I see the Wind Robo. I also saw Verisa back there. Jogun, actually. Jogun could be kind of sick. Oh, I really like this monster too. Let me just look around real quick. Can you please, I've gotten a lot of requests over here. I use Alexandra against Lucifer Arena defenses. That's a great option. I wish I had that. Jason, can you please review my account? Jason, I'll do my best to get to your account. I know we've got a lot of people here that are waiting for it as well. Please check out my new Steel Fortress. Still needs work to be safe, but I love it. Okay, cool. I'll take a look at that, Trent. Faster time for my dragons. Oh my goodness, guys. We got a really active chat today. This is pretty sick. Does this strip... It does not strip natively on a skill that we want it to. Okay. So it looks like maybe Jogun might be one of our best options, actually. By the way, I don't think I would pick the Isis that close to the start of the game. Let me look back here real fast. Just want to see if there's anything I'm missing. Okay, there's nothing too much back there that will drastically change stuff. Technically, Zen also does the strippy, but like sometimes it can backfire a little bit. I mean, heck, you could also do something with like Nora and Tomoe actually. So like with this same comp idea, if you do double strip and then you just have different ways to follow it up, you might actually be ready for a few different situations here. So out of the ones that I see, I'm just going to recommend that you build the Jogun because he has 100% activation rate on skill 3, which is really nice. You could also do the Robo. I would find a speed lead. I would do speed lead Robo Jogun. Then you can go into like Isis and Ritsu if you'd like to. But again, I would just try to stay flexible. I wouldn't like, I don't think I would make, or you could also do Verisa and Jogun. Not to interrupt myself, but you could do Verisa and Jogun potentially. Again, I just wouldn't like super lock yourself into like, I'm going to pick Isis and Ritsu every single time because there's going to be opportunities for you to kind of like counter what your opponent is doing. What I like about Jogun though is that he is kind of anti-Verd, he is anti-Douglas because that third skill can't be counterattacked. We have a new player here. They say I'm kind of new to the game. Still working on TOA hard. 32 days played. Well, you are doing great, actually. And I noticed that you already built the dot team as well. That's going to accelerate you through the early floors of these. And you've built a spiritual realm comp. This is great for floor 7. The only thing I'll caution you against is that you might find it a little bit hard to like keep consistently critting against the boss. You might need to swap out Masha for Seek the Fire Hellhound to get that crit rate buff. Nerd, don't worry if you don't get to me, I'll call you later. Okay, sounds good. I'd love to help you if I can, though, Nerd. Like, your focus is really good. The only thing is that you're going to have to depart from the dot team if you want to go into the abyss. So, for the folks in chat, I saw somebody else asking about Giants and Dragons help. I'm about to talk about Giants and Dragons, so try to, like, take some of these tenets and maybe try to apply them to your situation, so that way we can get, like, a nice, like, you know, branching path of questions that we can answer, so that way we can do one for Giants and Dragons and then move on to something else. So my recommendation for Giants is pretty simple. It's pretty much the same for everybody looking to get into it. I really like Veros on crit damage now. The only downside to this is that you need crit rate as well. Crit damage doesn't mean anything if you don't have the crit rate to back it up. You're going to rune him on speed, crit damage, HP. This last one can be HP. Veros benefits less from attack than he does from HP at the end. Because all of his damage is coming from the enemy's max HP, right? Because it's like that skill 2 scales with the max HP of the targets. And so because bosses have a lot of HP, it's naturally going to do a lot of damage. You don't need to enhance much of his attack to do that. It scales more with them than it does you, if that makes sense. Oh, Estelamaki says, Evino, I just got the light cowgirl in chat 10 in case anyone needs. No way. Stellina, that's so nice. Okay, so wait. So BLM Forever, who was furry in chat, check out the secret dungeon, by the way. Because that's how you get Lauren the light cowgirl. If anybody else is missing Lauren, look out for Estelamaki in chat. And request access. I'm joking. This is my first time joining this stream. I'm just excited. That's awesome, dude. That makes me happy. I'm glad you're having fun. I'm having a blast too. Granted, I'm trying to get to everybody. I really want to make sure that I try to like get as many people as possible. So I'm so sorry because I have limited time. So I'm trying to do as much as I can. But remember, guys, if you want to come by and check out Soul Strike, I'd love to see you on that stream. It's an hour and a half away. Just add an hour and a half from wherever you're watching. It's going to be live on the same Twitch channel, but the Come To Us USA YouTube channel. So a different YouTube channel, same Twitch channel. So Giants Abyss. Veros on crit damage. Rune on speed, crit damage, HP. I like to use Bella Dion, the Light Inugami. I like to use Shannon, the Wind Pixie, who I don't see here. Then you can also use Crow or the Water Geralt. Let me just see if you've got the Water Geralt. Oh, look, it's Evan. Oh my gosh, what is this music? I like this. Oh, you could use Leica. You could actually use Leica in this slot. Wait. Yeah, you could use Leica for this last slot in Giants. So Leica's really unique because he can't glance. He can't glance, and it also takes 5 hits to kill him. And so what that means is that because he heals on skill 1, functionally speaking, the boss can't really kill Leica. So there's only really one concern, and that's the mid-boss, because the mid-boss can technically like stun lock him. The boss can't do that. So I would actually run Leica in this slot. So I would do Veros, Crow, Shannon, Bella Dion, Leica. That's probably the comp for you. And then for Dragons is just Verd with 100% crit rate. It's really important to get him on crit rate. That 100% is pretty much necessary. Then you run Lauren, Second Awakened Spectra, Second Awakened Crow, Veros. Did I already say Lauren? You run Lauren. Okay. Nerds, solo leveled. Nerd, what can I help you with, by the way? We're still on global, by the way. I'm so sorry, guys. I said that we'd go over to EU, but I don't know if we'll have time. See if you can apply some of these techs over to your account if possible, because I don't know if we'll have time. Stoic says, I need a speed tuning check if someone can hop in the noob 2 room in Goodwill. So Nerd, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Oh, I see how I can help. This team looks very fragile to me. So what I would do is I would take out either Crow or Naomi and put in Shannon the Wind Pixie. And then let me see if your Veros is on crit damage. Because it looks like it's lacking. So we need crit rate. And if you want, you could actually put it on. On rage. In fact, guys, so we've got that event right now where you can craft like 49. Was it 49 or something? Runes. You get 49 free runes. This would be a great opportunity to round out your rage sets. You know, it's like just to make sure that you've got like the crit damage slot 4 rage runes, the one that's really important to have. To make sure you got like attack slot 6 rage runes as well, or HP slot 6 rage runes. Like, basically doing that is investing in more runes in the future. That's kind of the idea behind that, right? Because obviously Violent and Swift and Despair and Will are extremely important for places like RTA. They're slightly less important for PvE. You know, Rage, I feel like Rage and Violent are extremely important for like PvE. And then, so here you could shift your Veros over to a speed, crit damage, HP, Rage build with high crit rate. What's up, the Salty Brawler? And then getting Shannon would be really helpful. Oh, it looks like it might have just been a placeholder, so that way you don't forget the team. I'm gonna skip this song. I'm not feeling that song as much. Lynn also wants to be on Rage. So does Crow. Your Crow's good. The only thing that I'd say about this is that he's a little bit slow. He's a little slow. I feel like there's room to find some speed somewhere, you know? Like maybe this rune could be swapped out. He is on a blade set, and you don't want to break up the blade set, though. Oh, it's this rune. This is the one that can be swapped out. This rune is not contributing much. Yeah, this rune is probably the weak link. This one's helping complete the set. This one is contributing less than your slot 5, though. So out of all these, I'd say that this rune has the most room for improvement. Okay, let's go back. Lightning round real quick, guys. I'm just going to look at the book for these next few. Can you please help me with my Dragons and Giants? We just kind of talked with Dragons and Giants, but let me just look on here and see what could be happening. This one looks like it should be good. I would double check the crit rate on your Veros, right? Because like something in here is there's a few different points that this could be going wrong. First, you want Shannon to move first. So you want it to go Shannon, Belladon, then probably the Wind Homunculus, then Veros and Naomi. And the reason I say that order is because Belladon applies defense break, and so you want him to go in front of your other damage dealers. However, the Wind Homunculus also has a defense break. So if for some reason Belladon missed, you have a second chance with the Wind Homunculus, and then your 2 damage dealers at the end. So I would double check speed tuning and crit rate on Veros. You really do want your crit rate to be high enough to justify a crit damage build on him. If he is not on crit damage, then I would maybe put him on a rage set or think about maybe running Sigmaris instead. Dragon's Lair. Although I prefer Veros. Please have that on the record. I definitely prefer that. For this one, I think for Dragons, this is an admirable time, actually. I think if this is consistent, you don't need to change anything. Just double check speed tuning. You want it to be Lauren first, then Crow, then Spectra and Veros. Those can move in either order. It's okay if Veros moves ahead of Spectra. It's okay if Spectra moves ahead of Veros, and then Verd last. I don't think I've talked about this all stream yet, but Verd moving last, but not being super slow, right? You don't want him to be super slow. You just want him to move last on the team. The reason we tell you to like put Veros last is because, or I'm sorry, the reason we tell you to put Verd last. Look at me, dude, I'm giving confusing advice. Let me take a drink of water. That tells me I need to slow it down. The reason we say Verd move last is because theoretically, if he's last, all of your attack bars are spent. So that means when he boosts you up by 40%, you're gonna get the maximum amount of 40. There's nobody who's like at 80% attack bar or 90, and then you're wasting 30% of the attack bar gain. Like that's what I mean to say. Okay, so I think I'll leave you with those tips for that one. Let's look around. Tell Xenia, look at this. The Cowgirl Secret Dungeon. Oh my god, and the Shaman Dungeon? Everybody, please do not leave this chat without getting these 2 secret dungeons. Please. You have to get these secret dungeons. I would even get more, like if you think, oh, I've already got a Lauren, I would go in again. Like just get more Laurens, get more Shamans, like seriously. Like truly, just farm these. Do not leave without farming these. Okay, I think we've got time for one more. THC says, what should I do next? Please check me out. Let's do this. So, still kind of a low account level and trying to figure out where to go. Honestly, you're on the right track. Giants is the place to go. I think Giants is like the main priority in the beginning for people. It offers the most value for newer players. I think what you can do the best is like expanding your base of like Swift runes. Like having a nice functional baseline of Swift runes and Swift sets and Despair sets is going to help you a lot. So now that we've covered that, let me go on here. Let me go on here and I can see what I can recommend you for your Giants comp. I've talked about it at length, so I won't go into detail too much here, but you'll also want to use Veros. The one new thing that I'll say is that like this offset of runes, right? So the primary set, the main set is Violent, the offset is Focus. For dungeons and stuff, like the offset is less important than a main set. You know, it's not super important that you have a set of Focus or like a set of Will or something like that, except for like certain situations. There are very, very specific circumstances where you would need like a Will set, but like that offset is generally less important. So whatever gets you the best stats would be better, even if they're two runes that have nothing to do with each other. But for you, to get to Giants B10, I'd recommend Veramos, Fran Lauren, Second Awakened Crow, and then maybe Shaman. I think that's probably what I'd recommend for your Giants B10 team. And then you'll change that up once you get to Giants Abyss. But I think to start, that's probably what I would recommend for you. But guys, unfortunately, that is all the time that I have for today's particular Summoners War stream. As a reminder, I'm going to be streaming Soul Strike in an hour and a half, so if you have any even passing interest in that, I'd love for you to come by and check it out. I really like that game. It's why I started streaming it, so I think you might enjoy it to some degree, even if you just want to come and hang out and say hi. I'd love to see you there. There will be a new video launching on the YouTube channel today, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And then is there any other announcement? If you're on Twitch, stay in chat because we're going to raid somebody. All right, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Either, if not both of these monsters in that video. Lauren and Fran can both be used in pretty much every dungeon. The only place where it gets a little bit dicey is the Giants Abyss, where that counterattack starts ticking up a lot faster with units that hit 3 times. You can use them in TOA. Lauren is great single target control, and Fran is just a solid healer and source of immunity for new players. She also gives attack buff, which is so relevant. Lauren can also be used in raids as a source of slow and defense break. The next one that I wanted to talk about is Spectra, specifically Second Awakened Spectra, who's the Fire Griffin. You can use Spectra in dragons. I've seen people force Spectra in giants. You can use them in TOA or frankly, anywhere that you need max HP scaling damage.